Earlier this morning, I just happened to be going through and I got on Threads. Yes, I finally got on Threads. Now, in case y'all don't know what Threads is basically an extension app of Instagram. And it's basically like if Instagram had its own version of Twitter. But in my opinion, from what I'm seeing so far, it's nothing like Twitter in the thing or in the vein of how Twitter's algorithm is right now. But that is for right now because I'm just now getting on it. But I like it so far. And I happened to come across some of the people that I follow on Instagram, one of them being Cool Colas. And shout out to him. Y'all know he's been on the channel a couple of times before. And he has a channel of his own. If you haven't done so already, make sure y'all go and subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of good information on there and his breakdowns are elite. But he responded to this post that was put up back in February by this person by the name who goes by the name of the Real Mighty Mouse. And as you can see, that's his name right there. That's their picture and the date. And they put up this post said, being black and conservative means suddenly not being black enough. And I feel like this is a talking point that doesn't get addressed enough when we're talking about these black conservatives, as I like to call them. Yeah, we know we call them out for a lot of them out for their bug dancing and tap dancing and stuff like that, you know, with your Fakeums and your Candaces and your little tiny Terrys, and CJ looks way older than he does Pearson and ABLs and so on and so forth. But this talking point right here does not get addressed enough because it's one of those ones that's rarely talked about. And let me just say that this is not me coming at this dude for this particular post, because it's not, and I'm saying that because this is not the first time that I've seen something like this. And it's baffling to me because we're not coming at black conservatives because they're conservatives or coming at them because they're not black enough. It's because of the talking points many of you echo, which come from a lot of those white conservatives or MAGA. Like, we look through your posts and we see some of the stuff that you say, and then you expect us to align with your rhetoric, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I've seen that so many times, especially on Twitter. Like, think about the people that I just mentioned and the stuff that they talk about and the stuff that they say. And then if black people push back against that, then they'll come back at us and saying we're being divisive, or like what this person says, that they're not black enough. In other words, they're trying to say if we were more liberal, or if we were on the quote unquote Democratic plantation, then we would be considered black. Guess what? As a person who is an independent and has been an independent for nearly 2 years, I can see the issues on both sides of the aisle. I have called out both sides, and I'm talking about the black people on both sides, of the spectrum. And it's like, it seems like I can't tell the difference between the two. Sure, their talking points might be a little bit different, but they all come to the same conclusion of both of you sound very moronic. And this notion of you not being black enough because you're a conservative, that's crazy, because there has been a lot of black people who are aware of who they are and are for their people who are conservative or have been conservative. As a matter of fact, black people are some of the most conservative people that you will ever meet. But that doesn't mean you have to go completely off the rails and start sounding like MAGA this and MAGA that, or acting like you're a member of MAGAville. Now, to this person, I wonder if people was to pull up the post that he has made over I don't know how long he's been a conservative. It's really none of my business. But what would they find? Like, what have you said to lead people to believe that you're quote unquote not black enough? See, that's the thing right there. They'll put something like this out there to put themselves in a victim mentality, or to have someone feel bad for them, or to have a certain audience member come and try to throw the cape on for them. I actually saw someone reply to them and they pretty much did exactly that. And I said, why am I not surprised? Because that's what they were searching for. That's what they were fishing for. They were hoping, they threw out the line and they were saying, what can I catch on my hook? What can I catch on my line? What can I reel back in from this? As you can see, it got a lot of traction. It got 912 likes, 404 comments, 46 reposts, and 8 shares. So someone out there, or somebody's out there, definitely had response to it. And I did look through some of the posts, and there was a lot of people that was pushing back against him rather than supporting what he was saying, because even they knew what he was trying to do. And that's the thing with a lot of these black conservatives. You cannot go out there and do certain things and act in a certain way and then turn right back around to the black community and say, oh, apparently I'm not black enough because I'm a conservative. Like, how dare you say something like that after you turned your nose up at us because you felt like you were in when you weren't the entire time. You was on the outside looking in the entire time. So to sit up there and say that, that's absolutely ridiculous, and no one takes you seriously. At least I don't. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. And myself is saying this, no, it has nothing to do with you being conservative. But the problem with it is a lot of black conservatives, and way too many, in fact, the way that they talk, especially when it comes to black people, that's an issue. They talk like they're them. You're not them, and they'll let you know that you aren't. Y'all remember the video I did back in, what was it, November? Like right after the election, when that black guy had that "Make America Great Again" hat on. He said on his TikTok in the comment section, that white guy came in there and said, "You were nothing more than a vote." And he says, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and still support Donald Trump anyway, and MAGA and everything." But he tried to make it seem like he didn't feel some type of way about it. I'm like, you clearly did, because you made a TikTok video about it, airing your grievances out about it. Then he made another one a couple weeks later saying his family didn't allow him to come to Thanksgiving dinner or whatever because he supported Donald Trump. So we knew exactly what he was doing, and now you turned that against on. Now you brought your family into it. So, and these are the same people to say, stop being a victim, stop being a victim mentality. What did this person do in those two instances twice in the same month? Turned himself into a victim, and you're a black man, the same black man that they would love to use that phrase on of stop being a victim, which is exactly what this guy sounds like right here. Being the black and conservative means suddenly not being black enough. Again, that has nothing to do with it. There are, like I said before, there are black people out there that are conservative. They have conservative values or believe or this conservative mindset. It doesn't mean that they have to lean conservatively politically. See, there's a difference. And see, the thing is, people like this guy right here, we can tell leans conservatively politically, but he may not have, and I don't know him from a can of paint, might not have a conservative mindset. It's like ever since MAGA became a thing back in 2016, it's literally poisoning the well over there. And I don't give any kudos to the Democratic Party because we've seen what they've done over there. That's why I've been an independent. That way I can sit on the sidelines and I can evenly see from both sides what's going on here. And I'm telling you, both sides has some major flaws. And that's another thing both of them have in common. The staunch conservatives or those MAGA folks think they are flawless. Those staunch Democrats think they're flawless. They both think they have no flaws, and that's a problem. And then they both try to one up each other or try to say, oh, this side is bad or this side is a plantation and that side is a plantation. I'm like, they're both plantations. Why don't you try to work getting away from either one of them? Or better yet, trying to, I don't know, maybe fix it. But they don't want to do that. So again, I can't take neither one of them seriously when it comes to those talking points. But yeah, like I said, this is not an indictment just on him. This is a talking point that I've seen a lot of them use, and they're trying to and let's be real here. When this person wrote this post, I don't think they were writing it to black people. They were trying to write it to a particular audience. But when I looked at the responses, it was a lot of black people that was checking him, and rightfully so, because again, you being conservative and being black doesn't mean that you quote unquote lose your black card. It's just that in this climate, people see it for what it is, and they're questioning your decisions. Like, why are you doing this? What's the purpose? What are you gaining out of it? It's just that. But I bet you a lot of people who do these things or say stuff like this probably has something going on in the background, or they probably said some things and then black people check them on it, and then they come back and say this to make it seem like, oh, they were mean to me for no reason. Oh, there was a reason why they were quote unquote mean to you. And black people, especially on Twitter, are like detectives. If they put that sleuth hat on and get that magnifying glass and that detective kit, they're going to get to the bottom of it. That's really all it boils down to.